At a time when you know that the United States will definitely increase its pressure to try and stop the growth and development of China, for China to have a weak leader in place now would be a major disadvantage.
I'm James Chau. I'm in Singapore to speak with Kishore Mahbubani, author of Has China Won?
So having a strong leader in place at a critical time when China is facing such major challenges would be an asset for China. So I think in many ways, China is fortunate that it doesn't have to deal with the leadership transition at a time when everything is in transition, both outside and inside China.
Turning to Beijing and Washington, how instrumental are its leader-level engagement when Joe Biden is handicapped by deeply divided America, while Xi Jinping is also mindful of his own domestic audience?
I had the pleasure of having breakfast with President Jokowi in Bali a few days before the G20 meeting. And I told him that the world would be very grateful to Indonesia if Indonesia could organize a good meeting between President Joe Biden and President Xi Jinping. And Indonesia did just that. And as you know, President Biden and Xi Jinping had a 3-hour meeting in Bali, and maybe partly because Bali is such a beautiful and harmonious place, the meeting went well. And you notice how the temperature on Taiwan went down significantly after the Bali meeting. And I suspect one reason for that, and I must confess I'm speculating here, is that President Joe Biden could give a face-to-face commitment to President Xi Jinping that the United States hasn't changed its one China policy. And with the United States sticking to its one China policy, that would bring some degree of stability in the US-China relationship, especially over the difficult Taiwan issue.
Increasingly, people like Joko Widodo are rare in the world because they can unify people. They can act as global moderators because gaining and maintaining trust and confidence are challenges for many leaders today. If you were sitting down with one of those leaders over breakfast, perhaps, what would you tell them?
I think the main message that any world leader needs to absorb is that the common challenges faced by humanity as a whole are much more important than pure bilateral geopolitical rivalries like the ones between United States and China. The need for all of humanity to come together and cooperate has never been greater. And for once, let's be wise and set aside all our bilateral differences to focus on the common challenges of humanity.
You can watch all my interviews with Kishore Mahbubani here in Singapore for China-US Focus. I'm James Chau. Take care. Goodbye.